We will call meeting to order. Carrie, can you please call roll?
Chair Pucci.
Here.
Vice Chair Risberger.
Here.
Commissioner Lennon.
Here.
Commissioner Swan.
Here.
Commissioner Hahn.
Here.
Commissioner Carter.
Here.
Commissioner Stein. Councilmember Walsh Russo. You have a quorum.
Great. We will get into our first order of new business. This is for applicant, is it Srinad?
Srinad.
Srinad.
Yep.
Yara,
Correct.
yes. Physician advisor for 61 East Street. The applicant is seeking to construct a 960 square foot garage structure on the property. You want to just give us a little breakdown of what you got going on?
Yeah, the main problem is there are a lot of trees, they keep falling, got expensive cars, so, and there's no room to park, like, nothing safe yet. Since I bought this place, I mean, I spent almost 200,000, so there's no issues with drainage. I've seen many houses here don't have any gutters, so I got new roof, new gutters, new drainage system, everything is new, and it's pervious. So I even sent pictures. It rained. I think it's been raining, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not in. There's no puddle anywhere. The whole property, so it's pretty good, yeah.
Now, Robert, you sent me something this afternoon that was a little bit different from the memo that you had sent me. Is that correct?
So you have the application that was submitted, the drawings that were submitted. I did my review based upon those drawings. Gravel is not impervious. I'm sorry, gravel is not pervious, it is impervious. So he's created probably 98% impervious coverage in that yard, which is very much against the code and could have ramifications for neighboring properties, likely the one downhill from there. So as far as I'm concerned, my review is no good on this. And we'll need something showing existing conditions versus proposed conditions and how he's going to mitigate any stormwater runoff.
There are drainage pipes underground, which I had them done.
Underground?
Yeah, since I bought the property, yeah. So all the gutters are connected to the drainage, yeah, and there's a trench. So there's no issues with any, like I said, water stagnation or anything, yeah.
And you're on a hill now?
I'm sorry?
Where the garage would be, is it on a hill? It would,
Oh, no, it's not a hill, it's flat land, yeah.
okay.
Yeah, the entire property is flat, yeah.
What's that, Robert?
East Street is hilly and that goes hill. It's
Like
probably about
naturally
8%
slopes
grade.
down, yeah.
But that lot is relatively flat.
So
Yeah, the road is hilly, yeah,
Yeah.
not the property,
Not the property,
Yeah.
okay.
where I'm putting the garage.
is there a garage that exists right now?
Yeah,
No
the
garage.
doors, I can't park anything there.
Is there a garage there right now?
Yeah, the old garage, yeah, but, you know, previously they never used it. I think it was almost collapsing, but I had it repaired. The doors are so tiny, I can't fit any cars there.
I'm watching him shake his head no, that there's no garage on your property. And you're saying there is a garage.
Yeah, there's an old one, yeah.
I'm not seeing it on any of the other.
But never used as garage, yeah.
Okay.
So it's more used as storage.
Can you
I
show
can't
us-
see it from the satellite.
I mean, even though it's technically it's garage, but nobody uses it. And I can't use it either.
Can you show us where it is on this?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so so you sent me a photo today. That's of where the
Okay, so if you see,
alleged garage
so if you're
is.
seeing a white car in one of the pictures,
Yes,
right on the left side of the white car, you see a small structure. Yeah, that's the old garage, but
It's attached to the house?
attached to the house. Yeah. So
Oh.
it's
oh,
being,
attached to the house.
yeah, so it's being used as storage, yeah, right, yeah.
And that would remain or be removed?
I'm sorry?
That would remain in place or be removed?
That'll remain in place because I can't park anything.
Right. Just making sure.
So you don't wanna demolish that garage, you just
Yeah,
wanna,
because it's used as storage, yeah.
you just wanna build an additional garage to the
Correct,
left
yeah,
of that.
for the existing structure, even though, I mean, it's called garage, but it says,
So is the whole backyard gravel right now?
Yes.
And gravel's not pervious?
gravel is impervious, so essentially he is 65-70% over the impervious limit.
So it was,
Oh.
whatever you're seeing on the gravel, I just added that like 3 days back. Because to put the garage, you need something level. It was all muddy before. So what you're seeing there, I mean, somebody can even go and check. There's not a single drop of water, even after it rained. And I just took pictures yesterday, after the rain.
So what was it previous to this gravel that exists there now? What was it before that?
It was gravel before too.
It was gravel
Yeah.
before as well.
So I just put a small, probably ½ inch layer, because then they won't build the garage. They want something even surface, even though, I mean, it was even, but we had the previous driveway changed. Previous driveway was asphalt, not draining properly. So now we got gravel too. And below the driveway are pipes. So pipes go all the way below the driveway.
Did you take out the asphalt driveway and replace
Yeah,
it with the gravel
yeah.
driveway?
Yeah, when I bought the property, because that's why, there was a problem because water was stagnant before, yeah.
And so when you did that, you also installed the underground
Drainage
drainage?
system, yeah.
So
And where
who's-
does that drain to? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good.
So within the property, there's a big trench, it just goes there, yeah. So I own this property for more than 3 years now. Never seen that, like flooding or anything because of that, yeah. So it goes to my front yard, not into the street or anything, so there's a lot of grass there, I think it just,
Who did the work for you?
its name is Lance, it's called, I think Sherwood Services or something, yeah.
The drainage pipe that you added to the driveway, is it a French drain, or is it just going directly from the gutters and out to the street?
Not to the street, no, that's what I was telling you.
Okay.
To the trench, it's a trench drain, yeah.
Okay,
So it goes into a big trench, probably 5 or 6 feet deep.
yeah,
And put some stuff where it doesn't drain out. So the
So-
water just stays in my property.
okay. So at my house, which is Center City, our gutters go down to a pipe that then goes to the sewer? Like the storm drain?
Storm drain.
Right, is that what's happening here, or no?
I'm not sure, because I don't know where there's a storm drain. But it's not going to the street, that I can tell you.
Okay.
Or
Robert,
maybe connected to the storm drain.
Robert, are you saying that it would be against city code to build a garage on that type of a surface?
No, it's fine to build a garage with site plan review. It's against the city
Okay.
code to turn pervious surfaces into impervious surfaces. Before the 2010
Okay.
code was enacted, landlords were kind of like converting houses, converting entire backyards to parking. You can see it all over this.
Yeah.
Entire parking lots have been, entire backyards have been converted to parking. The intent of the code was to stop that.
Okay.
And also to stop from overwhelming the storm sewers in the event of a rainfall. So to give you, for instance, on a big project that you're going to disturb an acre or more, the law requires you to maintain stormwater resulting from that property cannot change after development. So if you're going to disturb an acre, you have to put in ponds, you have to put in stormwater ditches, you have to make sure that water does not leave the property. Now, this is obviously not an acre, but the same thing applies in terms of the city. It has to stay on the property. There may be drainage in, there's no record of it. I haven't been given any plans or drawings. We don't know if it was engineered, but it is impervious now. But I have no other data. I don't know what it looked like before, what it looked like after. All I know is what I was told was incorrect.
So if you take a look at the picture, that is soon after the rain, when Mr. Hester came, the previous night it rained. And that's what you're seeing, there's not any, you don't see any puddle, you just see slightly, you could see that it had rained. Yeah.
I'd like more information. I'd like to adjourn this matter and have it brought up at the next meeting. I don't know the correct process for that, but I'd like Robert to spend more time with the updated information, and and see whatever plans for the drainage. I'd like to see plans for the drainage that you had done.
Yeah, I mean, like, so you can see a lot of trees, that's where the problem is. Drainage, I mean, I've been living there 3 years now, more than 3 years, there's no problem. And I think I already mentioned, before purchasing, I've seen a lot of houses in Oneonta. None of them had any drainage system. And even like my neighbors, none of them have gutters, nothing. So, like I said, I spent a lot of money, I mean, just to make sure the water, but not just my property, for the whole thing. And you can clearly tell from pictures, there's no issue with drainage.
Well, from the
I don't-
picture, what we do know is that there's no standing water there, but we don't know where the water went. We're taking your word for that it stayed on your property. For all we know, that water came down on your property and immediately washed on somebody else's property. So that's part of the issue that we have. I mean, I'm feeling like there's a lot of information I don't know. There's also, I don't know what I don't know here to make a good decision on this. I don't know if we can,
I mean,
hold this till the next meeting, if there's some way we can have better drawings or details here, because it's hard to really
You
see.
can ask for whatever you
Yeah.
feel you need to make a decision.
can I just mention something? If there's a problem, let's say it was draining with the neighbors' houses, there are neighbors on both the sides, you'd have heard long back. You don't need to wait 3 years to hear.
Well,
Somebody will
potentially, I
complain,
mean,
right?
they might not know if,
Yeah, one of the places is a rental next door.
So,
No, I mean, it's
if I may,
significant drainage.
do we have, the city would receive any complaints about any drainage, correct?
Correct.
If
Can we
somebody
go back,
complains.
can we go back and see if there were any complaints lodged downhill from this
We
property?
can check with Public Service, Public Works.
yeah, that
If
would
there
be
were no
great.
complaints, then I think after the 2010 code change, obviously drainage is not an issue for this
Right.
property.
Right. So let me be very clear. I don't think anyone doesn't want you to build a garage here.
Absolutely.
We just want to make sure that you are, that we, I should say, as a commission are crossing our Ts and dotting our Is so that we don't get any fallback later by any surrounding residents that might come back later and be like, oh, I can't believe you let that resident do that. We have drainage on our property or whatever it is. So I think that we, as a commission, are just going to request a little bit more information, just so that we can know exactly where that drainage is going. And I think next month, if you can just supply that, and that can just be pictures of whatever your underground drainage system is and wherever it comes out, so that we can see that. And we
I
have,
also asked for plans though.
I mean,
Had someone do the work.
How can I
I'd
get,
like to see
I gotta
plans.
dig the whole thing to show you the pictures.
so again, like whoever did that, Lance Sherwood,
Right.
whatever, yeah, like, so chances are, before they put in that underground drainage system, that they probably drew up some plans. I think we just wanna take a look at those. So if you can just ask them, and you can send them on to the city, you can send them to Carrie, and we can look at them at our next meeting, just so that we can all have a glance and have, the assurance of knowing exactly where that drainage is going, so that we know that we're making a secure decision in allowing, any structure that is built on this property to be properly.
It'd be more difficult to add drainage or something after the garage is built than before. So, in my opinion, I'm for I want the garage,
Yeah, me
to be
too.
fair. But if there's been no complaints from surrounding properties, then there's no reason, in my opinion,
Yeah.
to say no.
I agree.
But we don't know. You've only been there 3 years, which is a significant amount of time. However, going back more than 10, if there's been no issues, then I see no issue. Okay?
I agree with that.
I was leaning, can I?
Go ahead.
When I just looked at this, without knowing anything further, I was leaning toward approving a garage that met the code, which is a smaller garage. So I don't know what the justification is for a larger garage, because it takes away the impervious surface, or it takes away the pervious
There's really
surface.
nothing in the code limiting the size.
But it was
It's
gonna
just-
take-
It's just a question of it's over 250 square feet or 200 square feet, it comes to the board.
But the result was that it would create less pervious surface.
Correct,
right? And if that doesn't comply with the code.
correct.
So that's my problem. What's the justification for getting rid of so much pervious surface
But
on this
isn't
lot?
this impervious surface now with the gravel?
It's all impervious now.
Yes.
He said,
But he purchased it that way.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
I'd like more information from Robert.
No, I purchased it that way, I made things better, right? I mean, I spent 200,000, that's what I'm trying to tell you.
I
And
wouldn't spend any
installing
more money
the
before I
drainage?
know this is
For,
gonna be
I mean,
approved.
when somebody buys a house and spends so much money, you want to make sure your property is better, right? So it's better than before. Number one, drainage, gutters, everything.
I think he's asking, if I can jump, was it already gravel? Was that whole?
Always gravel, yeah.
That whole thing was always been?
Always been like
So I
that.
think
And
she
it
said
was,
she doesn't
was it
know.
always used for parking?
Yeah,
So where are you parking now?
I gotta show you that.
Sure.
There's only one spot I can safely park, is here, crooked like this.
Okay,
That's the only open area where there are no branches falling, and I collect cars. So, like cars which they make only 2 cars, 3 cars, those are the ones I collected here.
yeah, no, I completely understand.
My-
Let me be very clear,
Yeah.
no one doesn't want you to have the garage here. We're, I think, all for it. We just wanna make sure that before we approve it, we're making sure that we have all the information in front of us so that we don't get any fallback, because that's what we
Right.
do,
Or potential damage to surrounding property
correct?
due to
Yeah,
drainage.
and big, so if you, so where I'm building is all the way at the back, there's
Mhm.
enough setback. Did the measurements several times.
Mm-hmm.
Even when the person, the Sherwood, they were doing this, made them do the measurements. So the problem right now is, like every day, and I can't even sleep, I work nights, but I install cameras, there's always somebody at the cars at night. So if somebody steals these cars, I mean, that's the biggest fear. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't
absolutely.
travel, I can't go anywhere.
We want your cars to be in a garage. I think the commission agrees, and I don't wanna speak for the commission, but I will do my best. I think we just mostly wanna know where the new drainage, the underground drainage that you installed, where it's being drained to. And if you can just show us those plans and we feel confident in them, I feel no reason that we would decline you building the garage at all. So it's really just one more hoop to jump through, and hopefully next month, in August, we'll be able
And
to
I
sit
have
here
the
and
year.
say,
Again?
Yeah.
Yeah, I work, actually, I should be at work now, but
well, you can also send Lance, whoever from Sherwood, if he wants to come and explain it and represent you, he can also do that as well. So if you are not able to be here, anyone that can be here on your behalf is also okay.
I'd
I
like,
mean, our schedule is done 6 months ahead at the hospital, yeah. So today, I mean, I'm late actually, so.
Well,
but
we
they
will
said if I'm not
try to
here,
get
it's
you
never
out of
get
here as
done.
fast as possible.
if they, so what we need are, if you can show some kind of plan or drawing of where the drainage is. I would like some better drawings. These are very difficult, some of them, to understand where things are. They did not copy well when they were copied, so it's hard to see there.
Yeah, no,
I think the only drawing that's really helpful is this, but I still don't know exactly how that sits on your property.
Yeah.
I'm not asking you to explain it now, but having a drawing so we can see this and have it very clear where things are, that along with the drainage will be very helpful. I don't think there's anybody that's necessarily against, as we've said, is against building a new garage. But we need to do this the right way and follow the steps we follow for everybody else when they're building something
just
new.
one question for the commission. So let's say that, I mean, right now there's no garage. It's still raining. Where is the water going now?
Well, that's what we
Right.
were
What do we don't know?
That's
No,
what
but-
we're
but
asking.
if- When a garage is there, where's the water going? Same thing, right?
Right,
So let's assume it's not approved. The property is going to just stay like that. And still it's going to rain, still the water is going to go somewhere. But by putting a garage, which I don't understand, what difference does it make, like drainage wise? Because still it's going to be the same property, same rain, same drainage system. You're not telling me, okay, if you don't approve the garage, we want you to go and put a new drainage for the entire property, right? So that's what puzzles me, but having a garage, what does it change the drainage, the current drainage? Yeah.
I think I see what he's saying.
I get exactly what you're saying. The thing is that we don't actually know the answer to that because we don't know exactly where this garage is going to be in relation to where the drainage is. So if you have a garage like this and you have water coming off both sides of your garage, where is your drainage on either side?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying, I can show it to you. So you have the drawing, it's drawing is here, and then you got the picture. It's going all the way at the back, and we are looking at the picture, so it's going exactly this way. So this is the property, you're seeing the trees. So this is the front, the garage door, it's facing,
We would
so
see
we are
that,
actually looking at the garage.
so we would see that front door from this picture, correct?
Correct, yeah. So you'll be seeing, yeah, so it was 3 doors, but I made them just do 1 door, so it's gonna be 3 cars. And it's gonna drain this way, if needed. My plan is to put actually a gutter system in for this, put the pipes down. If water is legal, the right way to do it, yeah. So if there's any concern, that was the plan actually.
If you have any before pictures, before you put down this gravel, that would also be helpful.
Before,
Yeah.
I mean, it was the same actually, almost, except that that's a new gravel. Yeah, but I can send them, I think I should. Yeah, it didn't look nice, but that I can tell you.
Robert?
It was full of,
If the surface, the entire surface of that backyard is impervious, and there's a drainage system within that backyard, is it actually doing anything? If it's under an
Depends on what
impervious
you put in.
surface?
Like, they make pervious pavers now,
Right.
which you can dig out an area, Alex might be able to speak to this better than me. Put stone in, put pavers in, and the water will
Yeah.
filtrate down through the stone and stay on the property. So that is one option. I don't know what he did, so I can't tell you if it would work or not. I
But that's a
don't know who
pervious
designed it.
surface. If this is impervious,
Right, he can convert it to pervious by using those pavers, but if this is impervious and you put drainage in, that's fine if it was designed properly. I have no idea what they put in. I didn't even know about the drainage system, no one ever mentioned it.
so you can have an impervious surface with a drainage system underneath that's actually
so
doing.
this is a picture from before, after cleaning everything.
If you would email that in for next,
Oh,
then
yeah.
we'll circulate it to everybody and then we can all see it. The-
So-
But
So
pre-
so
pre- and
basically, we're
post
just,
Site plans would be very helpful.
I was just gonna say, we're just gonna be slightly delayed because we're just requesting a little bit more information and it's just because we wanna make sure that we're crossing our Ts and dotting our Is. Again, I think if all this clears, and it sounds like it will, we just have to see it in front of us. Once we can see it, I think August will be a really quick, easy meeting, once we have the time to review those materials, if you submit them, and you'll be in and out.
So, I know one is the pictures, what else you want?
I have it written down.
You wrote it down?
I wrote it
Oh,
down.
so you're gonna.
Carrie's
Yeah.
got it.
Yep, so Carrie
You'll take
will,
this with you, because it also has our email address on it, so you can send it to us.
Yeah,
are the trees on your property?
yeah, lot of trees all over.
So one thing you might wanna consider is having someone come out and look at the trees and clean them up, take down any branches that are dead, cause
It
that's how
was
you.
already done, yeah.
Okay.
Because at the back, if you see a couple of trees fell, that's the property owned by the city. Those are the trees which fell. If you- on left side, if you see some neighbor's fence broke, yeah, so they thought those are my trees, those are the city, yeah. So there's some setback, there's a park, there are a lot of trees, yeah, they keep falling, yeah.
You had just mentioned that you're afraid of trees falling on your cars and that's why you want a garage. So that's why I suggested you might wanna have someone come out and look at your trees.
Yeah, no, they already cut the trees, that's what I'm saying. They took care of it at the back.
I mean, listen, this is relatively an open lot. I think we all understand why you want to put a garage there. I don't think any of us are really questioning that. Drainage, I think, is something that the commission would like to see, and if you can just supply those drawings and maybe pre-post site plan, everything that Carrie wrote, I think that next month in August, I think that this will be much faster than it was today. Again, like, I know you have a busy work schedule, if you can send Lance from Sherwood or whoever else in your place, that's okay, as long as there's someone here to represent you. I understand that we all have busy work schedules, I don't wanna take you away from that. We just wanna make sure that we're doing this the right way.
Oh, and just for next time also, make sure, I guess you submit, or tell Robert what the materials are for your garage, so that he can make sure that that complies with the city code as well.
No, I supplied all of them.
Special
Those are all
requirements.
supplied.
No.
It's really only the historical downtown
Okay.
area and Walnut, that district there, that has requirements for materials and colors.
Great.
Oh,
No, I sent all the paperwork, the material, what, everything,
Alright.
including receipts, everything.
So I'm going to make a motion to table this site plan until August,
I'll second.
pending additional drawings being submitted by the applicant.
I'll second.
Dave seconds. Any further question from the commission?
I just have one last question. I know you mentioned, but I want to be clear, the drainage, current drainage system is not at the back, it's the driveway.
Yeah, well, we don't
Right.
know that because we don't have any drawings of the
No, no, I'm
drainage.
telling you, that's because I paid money and there's no drainage system in the back, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. And I want to take your word for it, but by definition, we have to be able to see those drawings to be able to prove it. You know what I mean? So yes, if you can get a drawing that shows that that is the case and no other properties are, being affected by this at all, then by all means, I say build your garage, and I think we would all agree on that. Carrie, can you call roll?
Chairman Gucci?
Yes.
Vice Chair Ritzberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Lettis?
yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Hahn?
Yes.
Commissioner Arthur?
Yes. Who was getting potential plates?
Either one or Public Works, so I'll check our records and I'll check with the Public Works director.
So it shows up.
Like to not even things that's a long time rental, that is town. Change hands from when I was code officer.
I mean, you're right.
So the renters not necessarily.
So three of
This has
those.
got a-
So he said if you wanted to see the-
But that doesn't mean it's not
And then whatever.
But exactly, if there was, yeah.
What do you mean?
What the property was doing.
Yeah. but it doesn't mean there's no impact.
But it's,
Because they said.
The day.
those images are hard to read either. Comes across clear. So they're just looking for a clear image. No, they didn't scan one.
You guys ready?
Probably.
always ready.
Born ready.
We good?
All right, next order of business. Yeah, she's good. Next order of business, Hill City Brewing, 361 Chestnut. This is a conversation we've already had, but I hear that you have some updates for us and
Sure.
we're eager to learn about them, so take it away.
Sure. So if you don't know, most people know me, I think everybody knows me, but I'm Alex from Home Engineering. We're representing Hill City Brewing on the project. We've been working with you guys for 9 months, it's been a long time. So last time, I apologize, I was not able to be here for the first sketch plan review. I had to be out of town for something else, so Sal was gracious to be able to come. So I'll do my best to, if you want to review where we are, what
Yes.
the project is, all right.
All of
So,
the things.
yeah, so we all understand where the project is. This is on Cape Corner to West Street on Chestnut. This used to be a furniture store way back in the day. There's also a really nice smoke shop there. Both of them are gone. The building was completely vacant. Where we are today is these folks from Brooklyn. They have a couple places down in Brooklyn where they make their own beer. They have tap rooms. They saw the area and they wanted to come up here. They found the building. So the idea is to make the one side of the building, and the majority of the building is going to be production. We're going to make the beer. We're going to ship it out. Great, wholesale, wherever it's gonna be. And then there's gonna be a small portion in the front, which would be, there's 2 pieces to it. There's a tap room, which is you go to the bar, get your drink, hang out at some high tops, you leave. And then there's a mercantile space. That's the 2 spaces that are going in the front. So tap room, and then they're gonna sell some of your merchandise and yeah, growler, stuff like that, right? So the idea is, again, majority of the building, overwhelming 75–80% of it is going to be for the brewing. And in the front corner is going to be the tap room and the mercantile space. All right. So last time, I was not here, I got some hearsay from Sal, from Jordan, who's another one of the owners. Some of the feedback I think was fine, there's definitely questions, that's the whole idea behind the sketch plan, right? And I think we addressed almost all of them. I think the overwhelming, still one that's outstanding is parking, right? So we did, does everybody have my memo that I wrote on July 7th? Was in the packet? Okay.
Yes.
So there's 2 pages of narrative, 6 or so pages of drawings. I just want to review the memo. So in brief summary, we met with, if you can read right through this, but we met with a couple people from the city here, including Mr. Chiapizzi as a consultant, Mr. Matice as well, and Chris Yakabuchi. The idea was to review how to get us to the next steps. What is the next step? How do we get us to get this thing approved? So the overwhelming issue has been parking. So what we did was we took the first page here, it breaks it down by saying, okay, if this space, the existing space, when it was the furniture store and the smoke shop, what requirements would there be for parking, right? So there's a simple table at the bottom, shows you that we go through this on our own time, but it does show us we need 53 spots, if those existing uses were still there, okay? Flip the page, and we say, okay, the proposed use is going to require that it's broken down by the intended uses on the left. So there is an apartment upstairs, they're not gonna be using that, but that is there. So there's gonna be 2 occupants in that, so there's gonna be 2 parking spaces. The bar, tavern, pub, or nightclub, that would be the tap room. That's gonna be 24. Retail goods and services are showing basically that little tiny space off to the side that's gonna be for mercantile. Gonna be selling their sweatshirts and stuff like that. That'd be 3, and then the rest of it, like I said, is going to be space that they're gonna be using for distribution, brewing, it's just employees, which is why we're saying 3. Frankly, I don't know, you might be the only one that's in there. So we gave them a little room there, but anyways, based on that evaluation, we would have 32 parking spots as proposed use. So, the way that we would typically look at this, and Robert, you can chime in at any time, I think it's informal enough, but the idea here was to say, look, the previous use has the spots that are there today, right? If you look at it, there's striping out front, there's some striping on the side of the building too, on the east side. Those are the spots that were there for this property, it's always been there, that's the way it was. So based on what we're saying is, yes, although the 32 spots would be required based on the change of use, proposed changes, everything's different. We're noting, bullet point number 1, asking for you to consider utilizing the exception that basically says, right now, can we use the existing spots that are on the property for this use based on that exception? Does everybody read through the exception? Have you seen this?
I have.
Okay, so I'll read it. It says that no additional parking need be provided for a new use of an existing building unless the new use parking requirements exceeds by 2 the previous use parking requirements. And in that event only, the required spaces exceeding 2 more than the previous use need be provided. So what I'm saying is the spaces that are provided there today are what's being provided, and based on our calculations, we're actually requiring less parking than would have been provided for the space already. So the idea is, can we, the first question, would you consider exercising the fact that there are spots there now, can we use those as parking spots to get these guys open? That's piece 1. There'll be some conversation on that, I'm sure. I do think it's worth noting, they do own the adjacent property. So do you guys have a plan?
Yep.
We can put up on the monitors if you want.
It might be helpful.
Yeah.
The
Just so
lot,
that,
the lot off of Schaefer.
yes.
Yep.
If you can carry that with you. I'm sorry.
I have the zoning code ready.
I have a small drawing, so it's not going to be helpful to anybody.
We have it all in.
Yeah, we've got
front of us.
this.
Yeah, we have it.
So let's just look through it. So C102, this is future parking plan.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So the idea is that they do own that space. And I won't speak, I will speak for Jordan and Sal here, but they do intend at some point to utilize that parking lot for parking. That would be the idea. It is possible. It is an acceptable use of the space. I do note that there'll be some buffer requirements, fencing of some sort, absolutely, I think you should. You're somebody's, in that area, but it is allowed. And we also are showing this just to show that we wouldn't be putting a gigantic, the whole thing would not be parking. It would be 60% max for the zoning requirements. The problem we're having at this point is they're trying to get the doors open. It's taken a long time. So we're using this exception, asking for use of the exception, to use the existing parking spots just on Schaefer to get the doors open. And I even had a recommendation to these guys to even suggest, maybe it's worth saying, look, we will put a timeline on it. If you want us to say we need to get that parking lot done, we can do it. It's just we need to get the doors open to make the cash to be able to build the parking.
Yeah.
Because it will be something it's an expense, for sure. It's gonna be some kind of impervious
What
area.
is it now, gravel?
It's a mix of gravel and grass.
It's kind of just a mix and match of all of it, but it needs to be
It's
graded.
not like pretty grass.
No.
Okay.
No.
Like weeds, it's over.
What's a
Yes.
reasonable timeline to install that parking lot for you?
Is that a Jordan question?
Yeah.
He told me, he said, I would like somewhere around a year plus.
Okay, well, let me be really honest with you guys, and I have a couple questions too, but
Yeah, shoot.
when you first open, you're gonna be the new hotspot in town. There's gonna be lots of people there. Where are they parking? Because if you don't have that lot available to them, where are they gonna go? And we all know what happens when a new business in Oneonta opens, especially when it's promising as a brewery on the west end. People are going to be hopping over there.
All on the side streets.
Exactly, so where are they going to be parking if that parking lot is not available to them, is my first question. My second question is, so this plan that you provided also includes these front parking spots? Is that correct?
So, to clarify, can I clarify?
Yeah, please.
So, the previous plan had the spots along Chestnut Street in play. We said, these are legally there, let's use them. Naturally, everybody says the same thing, well, that's a little crazy. We've
Yeah,
seen-
we'd prefer not.
There's another business that has a similar issue that is not great,
Yeah.
right? So we're trying to say, okay, we're compromising, let's take those out. And we'll use that space for, maybe it's a little bit, small tables or whatever it may be, but something that's not vehicles. Take those right out, no Chestnut Street traffic, right? And then the caveat is, let's use Schaefer Ave. You'll read in here that, believe it or not, and then Sal didn't even know this either, but the property line it's on the building. I mean, it's right there, you can see it. So those spots on Schaefer currently, even though they are there, they are striped and the furniture place is using it and the smoke shop, that's great. They are actually in the city right away.
Right, exactly.
So
That was my next
the
question.
proposed solution that we have is, let's remove the spots on Chestnut. There's 11 there. So we're saying globally right now, when you read through this, there's a net 11. That's really all that's there today, 11 parking spots. Let's take them off of Chestnut, let's go to Schaefer, work with the city to develop not an easement, but an agreement that says, okay, every year we gotta renew something that allows us to use those spots with the city acknowledging that and agreeing to it.
Yeah,
There's good things to that as well. They don't have to maintain the snow. They don't have to worry about any of that piece really, that if we're allowing them to have the parking spots to be able to eliminate that piece of
okay,
maintenance. And this would also be a drop, where they would unload and load vehicles in the off time of the day. So between 9 AM and noon, that's where they're taking the box truck and they put the kegs of beer in it and they drive them away.
but that's only 11, right?
That's 11 net. So we have 11 today, and we're proposing to stay with 11 today.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
So you're gonna be, this isn't just a brewery tap room, you're gonna be selling beer to other bars?
Production, yeah, so they're going to be,
I thought it was only for on-site consumption, I wasn't aware of that.
they're going to make the beer, which they have a CO for that already, right?
Yes.
So they're in there now, they're gonna start making beer, and then they put it in could be a pickup truck, and they drive it to wherever they are gonna bring it to.
You bottle and can too, or? Can kegs.
Who makes the decision for the license from the city? Is that a council decision? Yes.
Yeah.
Is that something that we're worried about? Do you think they're gonna do that? Or we don't know?
That hasn't been discussed with the council yet. We have similar license agreements for use of the right of way in other situations, not specifically for parking spaces used for private use, but given the existing use, having been there for as long as I've been alive, used for this purpose, given the fact that Schaefer Ave without the parking spaces about 32 feet wide, Alex. And given the fact the next building down the street, as you can see there, the building is in the city right of way. There's not a feasible or desirable use for the city right of way there.
Yeah.
Aside from, as it's used now.
Yeah.
So having a license agreement like this, essentially allowing the owner to manage the parking spaces rather than the city managing parking spaces, seems to be a good idea to me as far as something I would
Yeah.
have no problem recommending to the council.
Well,
But
and I
ultimately,
think-
the council has to decide.
I think the commission would also agree that we'd rather have people pulling out into the street on Schaefer than we would on Chestnut.
Yeah.
So, you know, if that's a more feasible option and the city's willing to work with you guys on an agreement to do that, then I think we would be silly not to be supportive of it.
Is that, sorry, is
Yeah.
that similar to 34, 36 that we did?
Yeah, Chestnut Street,
Okay.
not parking, but we have a city sidewalk, a business wants to open a business there, they want a handicap accessible ramp. In order to install that ramp, we need to use city right of way on the sidewalk, we entered agreement to allow them to do that.
Similar, but yes, different.
Is Schaefer a dead end?
Yes.
It is.
Is there parking on the street on Schaefer?
People do.
People do.
That's wide enough, people will park on, a little bit on Morgan and West End. But I don't know if there's any limitations on allowing them to do that either, I don't know.
Down there, it's a dead end, people park wherever they want.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
bunch
it's a
of
dead end?
businesses nearby too. I see Sloan's, I see Motel 88, I see H&R Block, Monzer Brothers is right there. And then
They
you've
all,
got-
they all have lots though.
They all have lots, and then you've got the northern part which is all residential. So I think we are allowed to put a timeline on that additional parking, correct?
Sure.
Right?
No, you're.
I'm just bringing that to the table, knowing that if it was me and I was in your seat, I would say, well, I can't just hope that you do it someday.
Right.
If
Well,
it's really
right.
important for you.
Exactly. So we've got to look at the intent of these laws and the city code and all that, and you make a great case for the building in the middle of the road, I'm sorry, the side of the road. But, we want you to be successful, because at the end of the day, we want to grow the economy of this city, so, I think that, in my opinion, I'm okay with it, with the intent, with everything that you outlined in your memo, with the caveat that parking have a stopwatch on it, and we get going.
Well, and I don't just think it's for the commission's sake or the city's sake of doing that, I think it's also for your benefit, because again, like, as soon as you open, I mean, you're gonna have a packed house. I already know that that's gonna be the case. If people don't have anywhere to park, they're either A, not gonna come in, or B, someone's gonna complain about it. Or you're going to complain about it, or they're going to try to park in front of the building, and then that's gonna be a huge issue.
Right.
So I think it would be to everyone's benefit to open that parking lot as soon as you possibly can. And I know that that is like an additional investment, but I think it's gonna be one that's gonna have a higher return on you than waiting, especially a year.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would put this at like a couple weeks into opening, if not ready when you open. I don't think that we need to set that quickly of a timeline on it, but I do sincerely believe that it is only going to benefit you to have that lot and direct people there. I mean, that's like the same problem that like Dazzos had when they opened.
Right.
They didn't have really any immediate parking and people were parking all over the street. Residents were complaining about it, and then they opened their back lot. Granted, there's only like 15 spaces maybe back there, 20 tops.
And it's not paved.
And it's not paved, but that's their property. I mean, that is their actual property, their residential property. So, you know, if they wanna make it into a parking lot.
Us from like, it's an existing lot the way it is, can we just, set up lines?
Well, that was my question,
Does it
because
need to be
what's the surface like now, and why can't cars just park there?
They can. People park there, like strangers park there,
So it's gravel right now?
there's gravel in the grass.
It's gravel that's been overgrown.
So if you look on the satellite map, it shows it's not pretty.
On Schaefer?
Yeah. The darker gray portion on the image there.
Dave, do you have a question?
I have a statement. that
Statement.
I've been to enough bars that are in downtown areas for a long time that don't have parking. Here's what ends up happening. You're in neighborhoods, you fill out the streets, and the residents get upset about it. The streets are constantly full. It could be an amazing brewery. And after a while, it gets old when you gotta walk 2 or 3 blocks just to get over there. We don't have that many neighborhood streets here that, and they already have cars. I'm over there every day. So there's not a lot of parking down there because it's one side of the street parking. So I see if you only maintain the 11 parking spots here, you're gonna get a few people parking on Schaefer haphazardly, creating some problems at some points, especially in the winter. You're gonna fill up Morgan Ave and West End Ave. Nobody's gonna bother after that if there's no space. So I would agree with what you're saying. I'm more inclined to give it more time though, but I think we need a hard deadline of when you put in the parking lot because it's gonna be to your, only helpful for
Right.
you guys.
Exactly.
Because people will leave.
Like a definition of a parking lot would look,
Yes.
So not
Like,
a
you can
problem?
go out there and de-weed and get rid of the grass out there and put down some fresh gravel and put down some parking spots and,
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, 6%.
But wasn't one of your comments, I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of turn.
no.
Wasn't one of your comments, though, that we have to put a buffer up, so they're gonna have to build a legit
Yeah,
fence?
it needs a buffer between residential properties.
And probably some additional lighting. I guess my thought is,
It's pretty well done.
what we're trying, well, I think what we're trying to say is, based on the exception in the zoning code, that is, city zoning code, it is there. We're saying theoretically, we are compliant, is our stance. Now, everybody's saying the same thing about parking, there's no doubt. I mean, we're all on the same page and we understand that. It's can we utilize this exception, do you agree?
I
Right
need
now.
to read this exception again.
Yeah, I've read it like 1,000 times.
Susan, I completely agree. I've been reading it like over and over and over again.
Can you,
I'm not the only-
Alex, can you explain it one more time in like the most layman's
Before you go,
terms?
Alex, just so you know, there are contradictory sections of the code that I'm not gonna use the.
They're not
override.
overruled, no, overruled.
But I would say, I
But
think,
they are
it-
more strict than that standard, and the middle one is
Right.
go with the stricter standard.
If it says that, we need to do that, but I don't know if it's stricter. The thing is, an exception is strictly for this literal district.
Which is a
yeah,
strong argument for that exception.
Right. That's why I think there are contradictions in a way. I think that's what their job is to tell you guys that there is
Right.
this contradiction. We concur with all of that. I think the end of the day is, can we run with the 11 spots, but it's gonna take them time,
So,
frankly.
I'm sorry, one more thing, so the contradiction I should tell you is, anytime you have a new use on a property, you have to comply with the parking code, which gets us into all of those requirements. So instead of looking at the old use and counting 2 more than the required extra number, you have to just comply with the code when you do a new use. This is an existing building in an awkward location. That is completely, 100% of the lot is impervious, correct, of your
Yeah.
building lot? So this is one of those cases that's coming before you and you need to make a judgment call. I don't think it's right or wrong to say, well, it's new use, you have to have them all, or you don't have to do anything because it's not more than 2 that was required before, which, by the way, there was no parking requirements that I know of before, so actually none were required before.
Well, that's, I don't know.
So,
I think that, my point is, we're arguing about an exception. The exception's in there for a reason. It's
Right.
not in there to just say it doesn't exist because this one over.
right. Well, and you guys also finding a loophole that works in the code, I mean, is smart of you. I think that the city and I hope the planning commission are all gonna be supportive of that. I don't think anyone is trying to shut this down because of that. My encouragement to open the lot next door across the street is solely to benefit your business and the city so that we don't get a bunch of residents complaining about parking and you have places for people to park so that they can come and frequent your
Yeah,
business.
I mean, I guess my question is what, essentially what's the bare minimum of what we need to do to allow to make it acceptable?
For the parking lot.
Yeah,
So
I think
there
it's just
are really no
but I've been
rules
to
except for
tons
this.
of breweries where it's just grass lots where
Yeah,
you make your own parking spot and then.
It's just the 60% rule essentially. So I know of nothing in the code that says a parking lot's required to be grass, gravel, and dirt. It would, people aren't gonna want to park in, it rains around here. Crazy, in the springtime, it's mud for several weeks, so anyone parking there. So there are really no requirements other than you can't exceed 60%, and if you want to, you have to see these fine people again and get permission.
So you're saying if we kind of cut off a section of it, people can just park there? If we barricade.
Gray area is what you would use.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
I guess that was kind of one of my questions I
If we
had. was,
barricade,
If this isn't a parking area now, are you gonna rope it off so people can't park there? Because people are naturally gonna find that lot
yeah,
and
I
park there.
mean, that's gonna
From
be. up to
day
them if
one,
they
as
want
soon
to.
as those spots are filled, they're gonna go there before they go to Weston Avenue or Morgan Avenue. So,
I mean, we'd be more than willing to, section off to make it to 60% and people can park there as they like.
well, I don't think cars necessarily count because they move. I mean, it's,
Cars are
if
permeable.
it's grass, so I don't know the answer to it.
I mean, I would consider maybe putting up a sign that says, for customers of Hill City Brewing, all others will be towed at
Oh, yeah,
reverse
there's like
expense.
20 signs already, they're like all over.
I mean, do what you can do. It's up to you, I guess, to monitor that parking. I think as Robert said, people are gonna park there. If it's an open, free parking lot, people are gonna park there because it's Oneonta and people are gonna do that.
Robert, do they need fencing or just a barrier, like a cement barrier?
No, it's actually a buffer. They want to protect the neighbors from light, from noise, whatever
Okay, so it's gotta be a
possible.
fence.
Yeah, so for monster, like the bigger trucks they have in this area, they have to make sure that the fences are high. I think the code sets it at 6 feet unless there's extraordinary circumstances, and then they can raise it in order to get that buffer in place. There's some weird caveat in there. But that's the big one, and it's really only, because there's a fence at the back of the property. Which would be the back of Tilly, the houses around Tilly are already
Yeah.
protected. How tall is that? 6 feet, 5 feet?
It's tall.
It's
I can't
tall.
see over it.
So
So
they
it's really
should be
one
impacted. So it's really just the MU2 side of Chestnut Street.
Now, so there's a fence on this side and the back side, so it's really just,
Right.
So if you add that fence there,
Mhm.
there's no reason why they couldn't go to some hardware store with cans, get some spray
That's
paint
what I'm saying.
and make some lines.
Yeah.
They'll just all appear.
It won't last.
Well, I mean,
No,
we're talking
we do it.
theory, we're talking theory.
Like
not
you can,
practice.
like, it's up to you. I mean, listen, there are no lines in the Dassos parking
yeah.
lot.
And I don't know if I made this clear in the memo. The commercial zone allows you to put a parking garage in. This is nothing about parking lots. And I said, John, how do you want to handle this? And he said, parking lot's fine. It's a permitted use. And it makes sense too. I mean, it'd be crazy to build a parking garage there, but not be allowed to put a parking lot.
Right.
So I just want to be aware there was a small issue with that John and I both agreed. There's no reason not to permit this.
Well,
And there's no requirements in the code, local or state, saying, this is a parking lot, you have to do X, Y, and Z. Until you hit that 60% threshold on the impervious.
I have 2 questions. One with the parking plan. Why are you not utilizing the full lot? Is it because of the,
There's a garage door.
With the parking, the new plan?
like this
So we're trying to keep it to 60% of.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
gotcha. So you're trying to comply with that, that's nice.
We did our
Thanks.
research on that to make sure.
And then the exception, so the previous use theoretically, if it was compliant with the parking code, it should have had 53 spots.
It would be a lot more, yeah.
And so the new use, if the new use, I had it.
Is the key part of that sentence, Susan, no additional parking need be provided for a new use of an existing building?
Unless the new one exceeds it by 2, so if the new use needed, like 55 spots,
You'd
then,
have to bring it up to 55.
okay,
I think it's extremely poorly written, frankly.
it's a
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna tell you how it is, that's how I feel, and I don't love it,
Well,
but
then,
that's why I love the
But
idea.
you're
of
saying
saying
You
you're
found the
trying to-
loophole.
added
You
on
found
top
it.
of that is just that it wasn't compliant with the previous parking code anyway, right?
But it didn't need to be,
There wasn't
the buildings were
previous
there prior to.
Hardly anything.
Do we know for sure that there was, you're saying there was never a parking requirement before
I
this?
never, I came across a requirement that you can't have
Written poorly.
sauerkraut
But then again,
factories
maybe it was written brilliantly.
in Sixth Ward.
Because of.
Makes sense. You got a
I
building.
don't know.
I have never seen anything about parking.
So there's no previous parking requirements?
Yeah.
Essentially.
So this
Yeah.
is,
Sure.
this is completely garbage, this exception. It
Right.
refers to a previous parking requirements that don't exist, right?
It was so simple, it was confusing.
Yeah.
What it was.
So, then this exception is going to be forever garbage. You have an exception
No, we
that's
have to
not-
change the code.
That doesn't make any sense.
We'll have
So,
to change the code again.
there's gotta be some point that there was some kind of structure for parking requirements.
Listen,
Can I
use
raise
it
one
to
more
your
parking
advantage.
point that came up when I was just doing
Sure.
it? Having to find some 7,000 square feet of the space except for storage. Any business that went in there, if they decide they're gonna rent it out, that space is gonna require parking, and then we're back here again talking about parking, and at that point, we'll have no further way to go. So it is just something to consider, because it came up with the Rite Aid conversion.
right.
They had an extra 8,000 square feet of space and didn't want to find out what was going to be used. Now, that was a very traffic, the corner is a high traffic, Walgreens is there, Suco comes down there, Hardware comes down there. But it was the same idea. We have this space, we don't know what it is, so we're trying to define parking requirements, except that all we know is it's storage. That's a lot of storage.
Is it storage?
It's,
Black and white storage.
if you look at it now, it's filled with kegs.
Yeah, I don't, that's irrelevant to me, sorry.
Yeah,
Storage.
well,
It only becomes relevant if they decide to put something in there that requires parking.
That's their
Right.
problem, and
Yeah.
then
Right.
that's their issue at the time when that comes up. They're trying to
No, I
open
get
it to
it.
not be broke,
Right.
and lose it all.
I'm just
So,
making sure they're aware of.
I mean, I understand that, I think that it's important to note that they're kind of, they're weaning off on funds here, we're trying to get them open.
when
So
is
we don't know what
the
they're gonna put in there in
proposed
2 years.
opening?
Whenever we get approval on this, and then he's gotta get a building permit, and then he's gotta get,
Oh, I thought you already had the building permit.
That was
Yeah.
another question, 'cause
it'll,
Judy, is that her name?
Yeah.
She was saying that there are no permits, and you were saying there are permits, so I
There's
wanted
permits.
to get that
No,
clarified.
there are certainly permits. I've talked to John about that.
Okay.
There are definitely permits.
Okay.
they did permitting on, just on the production side only.
Okay,
And they got a building permit, they just got the CO from Mr. Andy Walker at the code
Okay.
enforcement. I was told that, right?
Yes.
I
okay.
didn't see it, but he's telling me.
Yes, you do.
They had
Well,
permits.
okay, so I think, and again, I don't wanna speak for the commission, so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think our main concern re parking, were 3 issues. The first is the parking off of Chestnut Street, which seems to be remedied. The second seems to be the parking on Schaefer, which was in the city right of way, which I think if we can work to an agreement, then that is also easily resolved. And third, most importantly, I think for the conversation we've just had, is opening the lot to the right on Schaefer and to the east. And I think that based on this conversation, you are going to do everything you can to open that lot as soon as possible. I think that we can set a date for that is workable for you and for us. But again, I would say regardless of whatever deadline we set for that, if I were you, I would try to push to have that lot open when you open.
I mean, if all we need to do is just add, that fence to block the neighbor's house, we'll do that as soon as possible.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you put in a $2,000 fence, you're gonna make that up in 3
No,
hours
that's what
with
I agree.
whoever's parking in that
We're just
parking
saying
lot
if
to
that's
come
what
in.
we need, we'll
Yeah.
happily do it before we can open.
Yeah,
Will that require any, so no additional approvals to have Schaefer?
I don't think it's a
parking lot?
variance, so I don't think that requires additional approval from us, but I will double check with Robert.
It kind of ties into the approval for the site plan. It is part of the site plan, it's gonna be parking for that, so it could be part of this SUP too. You talk about setting a deadline. When you do that, the special use permit expires. And you can be 6 months, a year, 2 years, 5 years, however you want to set it. And it could be set in, to go along with the parking lot. And this way, if they don't want the parking lot done and you really want it done, the special use permit could expire. So you could tie it into that. But I think it's part and parcel of that project.
So what's the difference between if they leave this lot the way it is with the grass and the gravel and all that? What separates that from, say, the depot or Dazos? Like, is there any difference
Great
between
question.
those existing businesses? Or can they just leave it like this, essentially?
Well, we would have the fence.
In terms of the
Adding the
grass
fence,
and
absolutely.
the grass and the gravel
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the dirt, no, there's no requirement for what a parking lot needs to be made of, but once the rains start, the
Right.
lights start.
Absolutely.
That's the customer's.
I absolutely agree with that. So you heard that piece too. Like, once it gets muddy and crappy in there, no one's gonna wanna park there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Understood, right?
Road booths.
It's gonna be nice for the neighbors and
I mean, some,
Yeah,
I,
Could you just see the neighbor's house?
I think some fresh gravel would go a long way. I don't think it requires any sort of parking lines, because let's be honest, none of the business
people are
parking
doing
that is
It's
off,
true.
you know, like,
I can give citizenry credit to finding parking spaces.
yeah, I mean,
They'll
listen,
be
like,
motivated.
if you want to do that, go for it, but I don't think we're requiring you to like pave the space and put in parking lines, like, that's not required, and we're not gonna require you to do that. I would say the sooner the better, and, get moving on it. And as far as additional questions on the site plan, outside of parking, does anyone have any issues that they would like to bring up?
Were there any issues with the signage? Like, is that an issue that needs to be reviewed or anything?
It was all approved and everything.
Yeah, I don't think it
I
was,
wonder
it
if
wasn't
maybe-
lit signage, was it? It was
No, it's
just-
No.
painted.
Right,
onto the
so,
building.
yeah, that was.
No, there was no vote by this board on the signage.
Yeah.
I filed with her downstairs and Andy's like, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, then that's fine.
Good.
So what else is needed? I guess that's my question. So we went to the first sketch plan. We're on here as another sketch plan. So
you have to do the SUP and the SPR application.
it's just an application, but does anything else change on this? Like, what else are we submitting? I feel like we're
There
doing
are
application.
some requirements for opening a bar or tavern, getting a special use permit that have to be met.
Yes.
There's like 12 or 13 items, those should probably be presented to the board since it's part of the plan and discussed with them. The buffering we talked about, really none of the gateway,
Yeah.
there's a gateway district.
No.
Something, what was that called?
No, we aren't gonna do that with the parking lot.
Yeah,
We're only paving, building,
design
we're not
guidelines,
doing
I don't think there was anything in there that jumped out at me that said, but there is that section in there, design guidelines, so I don't think there's anything in there that necessarily.
So they just need to get those two applications in with all the stuff that's, it's more for like brewery side, like how we, right, the special use permit, that's for the bar. Ask very specific questions that you guys will have to answer, and get it to them.
Like design stuff?
No, it's not that at all, it's operational.
Oh, okay.
It's deep.
What is, like-
Security, I can read it to you. Give me a minute.
You can bring samples next time.
Yeah, exactly. So, doing samples next time.
Well, next time we should be.
I could have sped things up tonight.
Yeah, August meeting's gonna be lit.
Bars, taverns, cabarets,
I'm kidding.
Violence control policies, procedures, methods of ensuring secure emergency communication with city police, evacuation plan and evidence of evacuation drills supervised by professionals in the field of fire safety, name and owner of the daily on-site employee, to act as authority, annual risk management training and review, controls to prevent excessive drinking, to prevent underage drinking, control. We had to do stuff on those these.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it was like 50 when I was back.
I mean, we own bars, so,
Yeah.
you know, we already know all that dumb stuff.
Controls to manage crowds, current certification, continuing training, for the owners and primary operational management staff from the New York State Certified Alcohol Training Awareness Programs, such as TIPS. Annual orientation and training of all employees, requirements for security, dress code for staff, dress code for patrons. and then there's review criteria for you all.
You need to know what the patrons are wearing.
No shirt, no shoes, man.
I don't, I swear.
They're never gonna come back up here, they're gonna be like, we can't do this anymore.
All right, yeah.
Clothed, patrons will be clothed, I think. Should suffice.
Anything else that you need, have questions on?
No. Do we wanna set a date for the parking lot?
I don't think we
No,
have to right
Not
now.
tonight, but you do want to set a date for the public hearing, because the special use, I'm sorry.
No, you're correct.
Oh, yes, we have to have a, well, can we
No at the
just,
same time, and I just let you go.
can we just do it at next month's meeting?
If they're going to have everything to us by August 1st.
Yeah, if it's just your application, it's easy.
If you can get everything to us by
Unless you
August
pay
first.
Those things I just rattled off, it's everything that has to come in for it. So.
So perhaps not, but you have a couple weeks.
together?
2 weeks? He doesn't think so.
He doesn't want to.
I mean, that was a very long list. But if you feel confident that you can get all those things together, then we can double our planning commission meeting in August with this, because the only other case right now on the agenda is 61 East. If we have another, then we'll do those matters of old and new business first, and then we'll do this last, and we'll hold a public hearing at that time as
I
well.
think we can, and if we can't, you know, we would just be in communication with you guys, and let you know, maybe push it back to the next one.
I mean, if not, then we would push to the September meeting, but I know that you're eager to open, so I would
I'm sorry,
encourage
Marcy,
you
can I interrupt again?
to move quickly, yeah.
Is there any reason we couldn't hold the public hearing if, so the public can be informed that they can attend the meeting? They may come up with points that he needs to address in the site plan review. Why don't we just try to have this in August?
Because the site plan review is what triggers the public hearing. So if I don't have enough
No, it's the six.
Site plan,
Special
public-
use permit triggers the public hearing.
site plan review at the discretion of the planning commission triggers the public hearing.
So we have to, if we get public hearing comments, if somebody wants something else, we have to address it.
Well, we didn't
Well,
approve,
let's discuss
we didn't
it.
approve the site plan for RSS before we did the public hearing.
Correct.
Yes.
You had a complete packet and you declared its need for a public hearing.
So couldn't we do that first and then,
If you have a complete packet.
well, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
so
but we
by
don't
August
have
first,
anything.
by August first,
Right.
if we have the materials,
Right.
then we will know. If you can get us everything by
Yeah.
August first, we can also have the public hearing at the August planning commission meeting, which is like the 17th or whatever it is, the 19th.
I just looked it up.
So if you can get us everything by August first, we can double that up. And then we can approve not approve the site plan, but we can approve the application to be complete.
Mhm.
We can hold, and then immediately following, we can hold a public hearing. And then in September, we can approve or deny the site plan.
Good.
Good? Get to work. I make a motion to table this until August.
So moved, or second.
Questions, commission? Carrie, can you call roll?
Chair Kuchen?
Yes.
Vice Chair Risberger?
Yes.
Commissioner Lennis?
Yes.
Commissioner Swan?
Yes.
Commissioner Hahn?
Yes.
Commissioner Carter?
Yes.
And we will adjourn at 8:11.
Okay.